We're back in the seat today, and yet again we're back talking Wrexham AFC transfer news. You can almost expect it by now. Every time you get a notification for a video on the channel, you know at this time of the year it is going to be a transfer one. Today we're going to be looking at a confirmed departure from the club. We're going to be looking at a transfer target that got away for Wrexham and what this could mean for the future weeks to come in the transfer window as to what Wrexham's expectations are and to how much we could spend in the upcoming summer transfer window. We're also going to be looking at a big summer target that's currently out in the World Cup. So before we get going in today's video, if you're looking for the best Wrexham AFC content, I say it every video, this is your hub for that. Make sure to get down there and drop a like. Make sure to subscribe as well. We're on the road to 29,000 subscribers. It's absolutely free to do so. If you'd like free Wrexham AFC content on the football club, this is your hub for that. Make sure to do all that good stuff if you'd like to support the channel further. It's the first link in the description down below. Enough of the self-promotion. Let's get talking first on the first departure. Another one of our back-to-back heroes has officially left the club and has departed on a permanent transfer. This time it's Tom O'Connor. O'Connor leaves to League One side Peterborough United after playing well over 100 times in a Wrexham shirt, scoring some memorable goals in that FA Cup run, specifically in the 22-23 season. I'll put some on the screen now. That Sheffield United home game, that away game at Coventry City provided us with some incredible moments.
Come on. Go on! Oh, what a ball! Oh my god!
And I think if you are looking at the situation with Tom O'Connor in a Wrexham shirt, you're looking at his statistics. He's played probably 70% of the season. He's been available for 70% of each season that he has played. But it almost felt like at times Tom O'Connor was completely missing from the squad through injury. And of course, we've seen at Wrexham, no place is confirmed at Wrexham. If you're a player in that left centre-back role, in right wing-back, in central attacking midfielder, your role is not secured. There's going to be someone knocking on the door every single day to come and take your place. And those injuries unfortunately meant that Tom O'Connor dropped down the pecking order. Wrexham went into those transfer windows and really strengthened in his position. And I think once O'Connor suffered a setback through injury, he was easily replaced and ultimately really struggled to find his permanent spot back in the starting 11. We saw him play a big role in that run-in of the National League season where we did get promoted to League Two. In that League Two season, he was okay, and then he came into the League One season, had a handful of appearances in that left centre-back role, and ultimately played a big-ish role in our promotion to the Championship. So if you're looking at a consistent player, you got that of Tom O'Connor. He was consistently a 7 out of 10 every single week. We saw his attributes, unfortunately not to the maximum through to injuries, and I think just things didn't really go Tom O'Connor's way over the past 18 months or so, unfortunately for him. But I think one of the best decisions that Phil Parkinson made, and a decision that I think Tom O'Connor will be forever grateful for, is the fact that Phil Parkinson, after one of his setbacks, dropped him down into that left centre-back role, which I think proved to be a really good decision for his career-wise, as he put in a number of really solid performances, really got his stock as high as it could be after coming back from that injury. And I think we saw his passing ability be really utilised in that left centre-back role, and we saw the best version of Tom O'Connor in terms of his passing game and his defensive side of his game, because I think his passing ability is one of his biggest attributes, and it really does stand out at left centre-back. So I think he leaves to a Peterborough United side that finished mid-table last year. Of course, he was on loan there, suffered that injury there, came back to Wrexham, did rehab, has worked hard and now rejoins them on a permanent transfer. So it's a really good player for them to have in League One. He's a really good asset for any League One team to have, and if you keep him fully fit, he's going to be a really good player for you. So look after him, Posh, and all the best of luck to Tom O'Connor. Talking next on Ethan Galbraith. Now, I bet you're sick and tired of hearing that name all throughout the past, I'd probably say 5 or 6 videos, and I don't want to talk on it too much because officially now Ethan Galbraith is not a Wrexham player, and he won't be coming to Wrexham in the summer transfer window. He was a big target of us in the January transfer window. We know that Phil Parkinson made an official approach to him, his agent, and Swansea City to sign him late on. They rejected that. Wrexham went back in for him in the summer transfer window. That's not official, but I think given the interest that's carried over all throughout the last couple of months, it was going to be a guarantee that he was at the top of Wrexham's target list. And across both transfer windows, Wrexham failed to get him, and now he's joined Stoke City, who have probably had an average finish of 14th over the past 8-9 seasons in the Championship, for a fee upwards of £10 million. Now, I think it really does just put into consideration a lot of things, because all I'll say is, in my opinion, in terms of the situation at Wrexham, it is going to be a matter of time before the chequebook does come out from Ryan and Rob, from Phil Parkinson, Michael Williamson, to make 2 or 3 marquee signings to take Wrexham from 7th place last year to competing with some of the big boys in this division. We know this is sort of the theme and the trend of Wrexham over the past couple of transfer windows. We sit back, we look at these teams do incredible business early on in the transfer window. Wrexham don't really make moves, and then you're blown away with some of these big signings that Wrexham do make. And I don't think this transfer window will be any different to what we're used to. It's a big signing, it's a big fee for Stoke City to pay. I don't know how they've got £10 million, and it's rising up to about £13.5 million to sign Ethan Galbraith. He's an incredible footballer, he's a great midfield asset to have in the Championship. But would I have expected Wrexham to go out there and pay a fee of £10 million? Absolutely not. If we were going to go in for him, I would have expected it to have been a fee around 4 or 5 million. So yeah, I'll let you decide what you think on that situation. I'll let you decide whether Wrexham should have gone in for Ethan Galbraith. But I think from the price tag, a lot of you will be thinking, I'm glad we looked elsewhere. And talking on a transfer target, and reports from the Daily Mail are claiming that Wrexham are targeting Leicester City and Australian centre-back Harry Souttar. Now, from my Australian fans out there, I'm sure they're absolutely delighted to hear this transfer rumour and are keeping their fingers crossed that it does come off. And at this rate, I'm convinced someone from the club either watches these videos, or I should go out there and apply for a scouting role in the scouting department at Wrexham, because Harry Souttar is a name that I talked about just 2 weeks ago on the channel in my 5 players that Wrexham should sign for the World Cup. Harry Souttar was there. I talked about him. He's a player that I think a lot of Wrexham fans have been known about, obviously due to that Sheffield United away game in the Carabao Cup, where he absolutely towered over everyone on the pitch, was a beast in that back line, and I think he's a player that every EFL fan knows, and I think he's one that Wrexham should sign. I'm looking at the players that I've previously called on the channel. I called hopefully Harry Souttar, Sam Smith in January, Callum McFadzean, Paul Mullin. Don't get me wrong, I've probably got a lot more misses than hits, but at this point, Wrexham, please just let me know if someone's watching. Talking on Harry Souttar now, Souttar obviously is currently at World Cup 2026 with the Socceroos. Now, the centre-back stands at 6'6" and would no doubtedly be a proper Phil Parkinson signing as we're used to. If Parky wants a defender, it is Harry Souttar to a T. No nonsense, 6'6", can be good from set pieces at both ends of the pitch. And I think if you are looking at Harry Souttar's situation currently, he's fresh off the back of a relegation to League One with Leicester City. However, Souttar didn't play a role at all, well, barely, in that relegation to League One, as he suffered an Achilles injury in December 2024 and only just returned before May 2026. So he was sidelined for well over 16 months, and I think previously he suffered an Achilles injury for Australia back in 2021. So I think that's an early thing that we do need to understand with Harry Souttar. He is a bit injury prone, and when he's injury prone, unfortunately it seems to be really serious injuries. Of course, 2 Achilles injuries in the past 5 years isn't something you really want when you want a fully fit squad, and want a fully fit squad aiming for promotion to the Premier League. But I think one thing you can't knock about Harry Souttar, he worked so hard in rehab over that 16 months to make sure he was available for Australia. His hard work was recognised by Australian national team, and he's captained the side in every World Cup game so far, and that looks to continue as they play in the round of 32 in the coming days. So I think if you're looking at Harry Souttar's character on and off the pitch, it's going to be something that Wrexham fans will really admire, and Phil Parkinson would admire around the building at Wrexham. And I think his attributes as well would bring so much to this backline as we look to tighten up and work on that goals conceded in the Championship next season, because if you're looking at the statistics, they don't lie. 65 goals Wrexham shipped last season in the Championship. That's the most for a 7th place team in the league since Leeds United in the 2010-2011 season. So it wasn't a great record, and I think that start to the season and just silly goals here and there really did cost Wrexham ultimately in the end in the 2 points that we did finish outside the playoffs. So Phil Parkinson will want to tighten up in their back line, and I think Harry Souttar could be a really good player to bring in and sort of steady the ship. Standing at 6'6", I'm not a genius in saying this, his aerial ability is going to be one of his main attributes, and he's going to stand out week in, week out if he is to sign up here in North Wales. He'll be good from crosses, from set pieces at both ends of the pitch. If you're looking at his stats from the World Cup, 15 duels he's won so far in 3 games, 11 of those being aerial. So he is a big player. He's a beast at the back. He's, the likes of Manny Smith, Blaine Hudson. Just remember those players who were towering in the back line for Wrexham. And I think if you're looking at him as a player, he's the traditional old school centre back who is going to get stuck in, and one that will have really good positioning and tackling attributes, which I think might and might not work in Wrexham's advantage, because as we've seen in recent years, Phil Parkinson operates in a system where the centre backs like to step out with the ball, progress it into the midfield. In other words, a ball playing centre back. And if you are looking at Harry Souttar, I don't think he is going to be that ball playing centre back that Wrexham do currently have in Max Cleworth, Callum Doyle, Dan Scarr, etc. And I can't see Souttar having the required attributes to follow that system that we do play. Now, having said that, if you're looking at Dom Hyam, I think Souttar and Hyam are going to go hand in hand in terms of if Souttar does come into the club, I think he'll be cover and competition for our current skipper, and I think they'll play a similar role to each other in terms of just being that centre back in the centre of the back five and just do the no nonsense work. So I think it wouldn't be a bad rotating duo at all, having Harry Souttar and Dom Hyam competing with each other week in, week out. If you are looking at the situation with Leicester City, they've just sold El Canouse and they're looking to sell Fatawu, Oliver Skipp, so I think they're going to receive some big fees for some of their current players. So I think it could be a good distraction from Wrexham if we do want to go in for Souttar. If we get him now after the World Cup's finished, it could be a really smart bit of business. So that is it for today's video. If you did enjoy, make sure to drop a like, make sure to get down there as well and click the red subscribe button. Let me know all your thoughts on the possible signing of Harry Souttar. Do you think it'd be good? Do you think it'd be bad? Do you think we can do better? Like I said, your thoughts are welcome in the comment section down below. Until the next one, take care guys. Up the Championship Reds.